Have you gotten your healthcare waiver yet? Well, just wait, because more than 1,300 companies and a whole bunch of unions have, including another 200 in just the last few days. And if that doesn't prove this healthcare law needs some nursing, now we're hearing even nursing homes want out. No wonder leading healthcare law critic Betsy McCaughey says this thing is flatlining fast.
That's
nursing
right.
home thing.
Another industry slithering to the White House with their lobbyists to get an exemption from the law. The rest of us
Why
are going to have
did they
to obey.
want out?
Because they employ about 1.6 million low-income workers, and they look at how much it costs to employ them and how small their margins are. They're mostly paid by Medicaid. And they say once we add that standard benefit package that this part of the law will force them to provide to every worker beginning in 2014 or pay a penalty, they want out.
All right, now, but if more than 1,300 have gotten out, what's to stop the rest of us from thinking we're suckers?
Well, absolutely. In our country, the rule of law has always been king, not Mr. Obama, but the administration's own website says they're handing these out on a case-by-case basis. And that means the government has the power to grant a waiver. The government has the power to deny a waiver and destroy a business.
Okay, but it started out as being McDonald's in the beginning. Remember, they said, hey, you push this on us, we can't provide coverage for our hourly workers. And they're one of the few who do. Then it extended to all these other companies after. I mean, you could make a legitimate beef and get a pass, right?
Well, that's right. But you don't know who gets them and who doesn't. As the website says, it's done on a case-by-case basis. And that's what makes this so dangerous. More dangerous than anything in this big health law.
So let me give you a hypothetical. Let's say News Corp, the parent of Fox, wanted to pass from this. What are the odds that we would get?
You know, I wouldn't put my money on it. But that's why, this is one more reason why this week in Washington, those who are considering raising the debt ceiling should demand this as the quid pro quo, repealing this law.
That'll never happen.
Well, you say it will never happen, but the American public understands the gravity of this spending crisis.
But don't you think, just Betsy, the time that goes on is by osmosis, this thing is solidified?
Well, that's right. The longer this law is in effect, the more of its provisions go into effect, the more the federal government has its rules, its regulations, its money in every state. So it becomes more difficult. But repealing this would be $750 billion in concrete savings during the first decade. Not a little wing like this, but a turkey-sized savings.
Well, it's funny
right?
you should say that because we have a turkey
That's
here.
right. And I'll put my bill up against your turkey.
But here's my theory. Back to the turkey again. It's a different turkey, folks. We don't use the same turkey. All right, it's the same turkey. But anyway, I think people look at a turkey long enough and say, all right, that's a turkey. We can see this is a turkey, but we're used to it. Might cook it up, have a little stuffing, some peas. We'll have it.
If the federal government froze federal wages, right, until 2015, reduced the federal workforce by 10% through attrition, and required all federal employees to pay half of their pension costs, it would still only save $375 billion over the next decade. Repeal of this law saves twice that. The best way to repeal entitlements is before they go into effect.
Well, this is already taking effect in increments.
But the entitlements haven't. The huge subsidies to the middle class families.
By the way, you think the
$88,000
Supreme Court tipped its hand by not expediting this case, that it wouldn't?
It's very unfortunate because repealing this law will also rescue the nation from legal limbo. Businesses and states everywhere spending hundreds of millions of dollars preparing for a law that may never go into effect.
On a wing and a prayer.
On a wing and a prayer.
And we could all be stuffed.
That's right.
I'm out of analogies. All right, but again, it is a turkey once again. Peter, if you're in there. This will come back.
Unfortunately, Washington is...
By the way, right below that was the script for the next section.
We need real savings.
We need real savings. All right, you're serious to the end. I admire that. Betsy, thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.
When we come back, think just because this guy is a bigwig